WWE Creative just accidentally gave away the entire endgame for SummerSlam, and they did it right under our noses on the July 6th episode of Monday Night Raw. If you thought they were building a long, unpredictable, slow-burn masterpiece for the biggest party of the summer, I'm here to completely ruin that illusion for you because the booking choices in Chicago just laid out the entire script for August. Think about what we just witnessed. We went into Raw expecting a massive, logical, undisputed WWE Championship rematch between Sami Zayn and Cody Rhodes. Instead, Triple H looked at the chessboard, knocked over all the pieces, and decided to light the board on fire. Gunther randomly teleports backstage, murders Cody Rhodes by powerbombing him through a table, and then proceeds to cave Cody's skull in with a literal car door. Naturally, Cody is ruled out medically. But instead of a standard replacement or a standard top contender stepping up, SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis just happens to wander onto Raw, whispers to Adam Pearce, and triggers the garage door opening to reveal none other than a returning CM Punk. In his hometown of Chicago, on the exact 15-year anniversary of his legendary 2011 Money in the Bank win against John Cena, Punk walks down the ramp, hits Sami Zayn with his own hell of a kick followed by a GTS, and leaves the arena as the new undisputed WWE Champion. Sami Zayn's monumental title reign lasted barely over a week. The internet is losing its mind, calling it one of the most shocking, unpredictable Raw endings in modern history. But if you take a step back and actually look at the details, this wasn't an unpredictable swerve at all. It was a massive, desperate pivot that completely spoiled exactly who is walking out of SummerSlam with the gold, who is turning heel, and how the entire main event picture is locked in. Let's look at the absolute undeniable evidence of how WWE accidentally tipped their hand. First, let's look at the bizarre overlapping general manager politics that happened on this show. Why on earth is Nick Aldis, the SmackDown GM, hand-delivering a replacement challenger to Adam Pearce on Raw? Think about the logistical nightmare here. CM Punk is now the undisputed WWE Champion, a title that traditionally floats or belongs heavily to the Blue Brands ecosystem, but he won it on Raw. By having the SmackDown GM explicitly orchestrate this, WWE accidentally revealed that the title is firmly anchoring back to Friday nights immediately. But look at who Punk won it from: Sami Zayn. Sami winning the big one at Night of Champions was treated like a 20-year culmination of a career destiny. It was beautiful, emotional, and completely heartfelt. Then WWE takes that beautiful story and aggressively flushes it down the toilet in 8 days. Why? Because Sami Zayn was never the planned champion for SummerSlam. He was a transitional, feel-good placeholder designed to transition the belt from Cody Rhodes to a heel environment without making Cody look weak by losing cleanly a second time. If Cody had lost to Sami again, or if Cody had just dropped the belt directly to a heel, it hurts the American Nightmare's indestructible babyface armor. Enter Gunther. Gunther's brutal backstage assault didn't just take Cody out of the main event of Raw. It perfectly established a completely separate, non-title grudge match for SummerSlam.
Gunther versus Cody Rhodes doesn't need a championship on the line anymore, because Gunther literally tried to decapitate him with an automobile accessory. By removing the title from that equation, it freed up the Undisputed Championship to go exactly where WWE always secretly wanted it to go for the summer blockbuster, right around the waist of the Second City Saint. But it gets even more obvious when you look at the rest of the July 6th card. Look at what happened with Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and LA Knight. Seth comes out to cut a massive, sprawling promo about his upcoming World Heavyweight Championship match against Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. He's going deep into the history of the Shield, trying to convince the fans that Roman was always the corporate golden boy, while Seth was the real heart. He's leaning heavily into a pure, righteous babyface routine, claiming Roman only wrestles for the massive paychecks and doesn't care about the business. Out comes LA Knight, who delivers what might genuinely be the absolute best promo of his entire career. Knight completely tears into Seth, calling the endless loop of Rollins and Reigns in the world title picture a boring, lazy nostalgia play that constantly buries the rest of the locker room. It was raw, it was meta, and it was entirely accurate. The crowd was eating it up. Seth, trying to save face, tells Knight that if he manages to beat Roman Reigns at SummerSlam, Knight can have the very first title shot. If you are enjoying this deep dive into the chaotic world of WWE booking and want to stay ahead of every single storyline leak, rumor, and accidental spoiler, do me a huge favor. Hit that like button, subscribe to WrestleCore, and smash that notification bell right now so you never miss an episode. We talk wrestling like real fans, every single week. Now, look at what happens the exact second Seth Rollins leaves the ring. Jimmy Uso blindsides LA Knight with a massive superkick out of nowhere. Later in the night, Knight tries to hunt down Jimmy to get some revenge, only to get absolutely dismantled and left lying by Jacob Fatu. Why is the Bloodline suddenly targeting LA Knight on the exact same night that Seth Rollins is setting up a post-SummerSlam title match with him? Because WWE accidentally exposed their entire structural blueprint for the autumn. If Roman Reigns was going to retain the World Heavyweight Championship against Seth Rollins, the Bloodline wouldn't be wasting their heavy hitters like Jacob Fatu and Jimmy Uso on a mid-card feud with LA Knight. They would be entirely focused on keeping Roman at the top of the mountain. By pivoting the Bloodline to aggressively target LA Knight, WWE is explicitly telling us that Roman Reigns is losing that World Heavyweight title at SummerSlam. Seth Rollins is walking out as champion, and his very first challenger is already locked into a massive red-hot program with the Bloodline to build him up as the ultimate sympathetic challenger. They accidentally booked a post-SummerSlam feud on television a month before the actual pay-per-view even happened.
It is a classic creative team slip-up where they get so excited about setting up the next phase of television that they forget to pretend the current phase is unpredictable. And speaking of predictable booking disguised as a shocking twist, we have to talk about the absolute chaos in the tag team division on Raw. The Street Profits went into Chicago as the World Tag Team Champions, defending against Austin Theory and Braun Breaker, representing the Vision. Before the match even starts, Paul Heyman is backstage acting as the ultimate toxic manager, completely tearing into Breaker and Theory. He tells them they have been an absolute embarrassment to the group, that Austin Theory couldn't even beat Joe Hendry the week prior, and that if they don't bring back the tag team gold tonight, they shouldn't bother coming back to the Wise Man at all. It was high-stakes, career-threatening drama. During the match, Logan Paul shows up at ringside trying to introduce multiple pairs of brass knuckles. The referee catches the first pair, but Logan, acting like a seasoned criminal, successfully slides a second pair into the ring. Braun Breaker puts them on, but they get knocked out of his hands, and Montez Ford wipes Breaker out with a spectacular dive over the ring post. It looks like Angelo Dawkins is about to secure the victory and retain the titles for the Street Profits, but then Maxine Dupree runs down. Maxine, who has been teasing tension backstage between her old Alpha Academy friends and Austin Theory, officially shatters the swerve. She enters the ring and hits Angelo Dawkins with a brutal low blow right in front of the referee's blind spot. Theory rolls up a compromised Dawkins, gets the 3 count, and the Vision reclaims the World Tag Team Championships. If that wasn't enough of a heel turn, Maxine hops directly into Austin Theory's arms and kisses him square on the lips right in the middle of the ring, cementing her status as the newest, most ruthless member of the Vision. Paul Heyman looks on, smiles, and says at least someone got something accomplished today, specifically pointing out Maxine's initiative. This entire sequence is the ultimate smoking gun for SummerSlam. Why did WWE rush the tag titles back onto the Vision using a massive double interference heel turn from Maxine Dupree? Because the Vision needed the championship gold immediately to validate Paul Heyman's ongoing storyline before the summer pay-per-view. If Theory and Breaker lost, the group completely fractures and the Heyman alliance dissolves before it even reaches its peak. By putting the titles back on them via a brand new heel-turned female enforcer, WWE has set up a massive multi-person tag team match or a dominant championship defense for SummerSlam where the Vision can show off their new complete lineup. They couldn't wait until the pay-per-view to do the title change because they needed the television weeks to build Maxine's new dynamic within the stable. It is the textbook definition of rushing a storyline milestone because the calendar dictates that SummerSlam needs established, fully formed heel factions to act as the ultimate antagonists. Let's circle back to the absolute biggest spoiler of the night, which is the Women's Intercontinental Championship match. Sol Ruca defended her title against Raquel Rodriguez in a match that was practically overflowing with outside interference.
Roxanne Perez and Liv Morgan both run down, desperately trying to trip up Sol Ruca and hand the victory to Raquel. Just when it looks like the numbers game is going to overwhelm the champion, Io Sky enters the chat. Io, who is already locked in to face Liv Morgan at SummerSlam, sprints down to ringside and delivers an absolutely terrifying, death-defying springboard moonsault off the ropes, landing perfectly in a microscopic, narrow gap between the commentary table and the championship podium, completely wiping out both Roxanne Perez and Liv Morgan. In the absolute chaos and confusion at ringside, Sol Ruca hits Raquel Rodriguez with a devastating soul snatcher to retain her championship. This match was a fun, high-octane sprint, but visually and creatively, it gave away the entire ghost. Look at how protected Sol Ruca was, and look at how hyper-focused Io Sky was on Liv Morgan. By having Io completely clear the field and stand tall as the ultimate chaotic neutral savior, WWE accidentally revealed that Io Sky is 100% winning the women's title at SummerSlam. They are positioning her as the unstoppable, fearless high flyer who can overcome not just the champion, but the entire circus of outside interference that Liv Morgan constantly travels with. If Liv was retaining, they would have had her successfully screw over Io or Sol Ruca on this show to build up her heat. Instead, they gave Io the ultimate visual highlight reel moment with that insane moonsault, signaling to the entire world that she is the chosen one to lead the division heading into the fall. When you add all of these pieces together, the puzzle is completely solved. Raw in Chicago wasn't a night of random chaotic booking. It was a massive map where WWE accidentally left the coordinates to the entire SummerSlam event wide open. CM Punk is now the champion because he is scheduled to defend that title in a massive, high-profile hometown environment or a massive stadium show where he walks out as the definitive face of the company. Cody Rhodes is locked into a brutal, non-title blood feud with Gunther. Roman Reigns is dropping his title to Seth Rollins so that LA Knight can step up as the next major babyface challenger, while Roman takes time off or pivots to an internal bloodline war. The Vision is dominant with Maxine Dupree to ensure their tag team titles remain locked down, and Io Sky is being groomed as the absolute apex predator of the women's division. They tried to surprise us with a garage door opening and a CM Punk title win, but all they really did was accidentally hand us the entire script for the rest of the summer. If you want to keep dissecting these storylines, arguing about booking decisions, and uncovering every single hidden detail that WWE tries to slide past us, make sure to show some love. Like the video, subscribe to the WrestleCourt channel, and tap that bell icon so you are always notified the exact second we drop a new video. Let me know in the comments if you think CM Punk's sudden title win was a brilliant creative pivot, or if they completely ruined Sami Zayn's hard work. See you in the next one.